Good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you as we get ready for the second night of racing in the World Championships here in Cali. There's the table of the medals after 4 events. Germany lead with New Zealand in second place. 2 medals each after the competition last night. Australia poised there in third place, and as we look through the rest of the standings, Great Britain perhaps in a place they are not used to, with only 1 bronze medal from the competition of yesterday. So tonight we have 5 medals on offer. We're going to see the 500-metre time trial for women, the scratch race for men, the individual pursuit for men, the men's Keirin and the women's team pursuit. So it's going to be a pretty thrilling evening of racing here on this Cali track. As we look across it, the crowd are making their way in, 250 metres in length, of course, and if you look around this track and you get used to what it's like, long straights, tight corners, as you can see tonight, the temperature is vastly different, 22.9 degrees centigrade. Over the last hour or so, we've had some thunderstorms. That's pushing humidity to 75%. So it should be interesting to see how these athletes in the track centre contend with the conditions that have significantly changed throughout the day. We started off this morning with very warm, sunny conditions here in Cali. That got everything poised for a thunderstorm with black clouds rolled in, and we've had lightning, thunder and everything else. That's died down over the last 15 minutes or so, so we really are ready for what is going to be another thrilling evening of racing. So here's the rundown. If you're going to join us all the way through, not long now until we see the start of the women's 500-metre time trial. We're going to see 16 women take to the start of that. We then have the men's scratch race. A few victory ceremonies along the way. We've had some great competition in the qualifying with the men's Keirin, and the men's individual pursuit will also be decided tonight. The very last event of the night before the last 2 victory ceremonies will be the women's team pursuit, and you certainly can't miss that as we see Great Britain go head-to-head against Canada for the gold medal, and also Australia has a chance of taking a bronze medal as well. Well, luckily tonight the thunderstorms have not meant any rain coming into this track, as we had previously in the last few days. So we luckily have got nice dry track, nice atmosphere, and in the centre of the track now we can see these riders getting themselves warmed up, as usual on the rollers, as they just get themselves focused, ready for competition. Some riders choosing to have the headphones in, some riders decide not to. They just like to be in the moment, be involved in what the atmosphere is around this velodrome. So we're going to, I think, before we get competition started, there's Elia Viviani, in fact, from Italy, sporting a very nice quiff now. Saw him earlier on today. Well, of course, around the track we've got various riders and well-known faces, and one rider that we have seen in the Great Britain camp over the last few days is Sir Chris Hoy. He's been there as an ambassador, and let's hear from him now about these championships.
Hi Chris, very nice to see you again here. What have you been doing since you retired almost one year ago?
Yeah, thank you, it's great to be here. I've been doing lots of different things. I've started my own range of bikes, so I'm designing them and testing them and heavily involved, so it's a lot of work with that. I've been involved with the Commonwealth Games, an ambassadorial role for the Commonwealth Games, and also helping out a little bit with the British team too.
Yeah, that was the next question. And what are you exactly doing in the team? A kind of guru, let's say, or?
I think, you know, we have a great coaching setup, great support. They don't need me to be there, but it's nice, I think, to have a familiar face who has been to many competitions. You know, I've been to the Olympics and World Championships, so it's nice to have somebody to talk to, I think, just for the riders. So, you know, it's trying to help in any way I possibly can, and if it makes a difference, that'd be great.
What would you like to give them exactly? Your experience, I guess?
I think it's somebody to talk to. You know, when you've got your coaches and support staff, mechanics, everybody's there, but it's a sounding board. So I used to enjoy speaking to the more experienced riders and just asking advice, and even just talking about anything that you're going to, you know, not be worrying about your racing. So if I can bring something to the team, then it's great.
When you see all these young blokes here, are you missing a track and the competition itself?
I do miss the racing. I mean, it's great to be here and to sort of relax and enjoy the racing. But there's still a part of me that you want to be up there racing. But you accept that at a certain age, you know, you can't compete at the highest level forever. So, you know, I've accepted that. It was nice to finish on a high with the Olympics in London. And it's great to see so many young athletes coming through, not just from the British team, but from all different countries now. There's a new generation coming through, and it's very exciting for the fans.
Last question, what are you looking forward here? I mean, in terms of competition and races?
I think we want to see progression from the younger riders in our team. We want to see some, you know, we've got younger riders coming in, some of their first World Championships. In the women's team pursuit, we've got two new riders. So it's about gaining experience, but also trying to gain some medals too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great to hear from Sir Chris Hoy in the track centre. He's in the middle there as he gets used to his ambassador role in British cycling. But what a man to have alongside you if you're a young rider and you're a bit nervous about competition. We'll turn our attention in a moment to this 500-metre time trial. I saw him yesterday and he was talking about the fact he was actually missing being in competition, standing in that track centre and feeling the atmosphere, the theatre of competition. And you can see it in his eyes. Right, we're going to get ready now for the first event of the night. This is the 500-metre time trial. We've just seen on the screen here the caption which gives you the rundown of who is taking part. 16 riders will take to the track. They ride, of course, 2 laps each. They will ride individually on the track this evening. And sometimes we see the riders getting used to the competition because of the wind in this arena. I'd like to say that the wind has calmed down, but actually it's swirling around a little bit. And we'll talk a little bit about that more in the team events. But these riders are getting ready now. They're going to focus on the competition. 2 laps of the track. The world record, of course, is 32.836 seconds, held by the great Australian rider Anna Meares, 4 times the world champion in this discipline, the world record holder. We'll see her. She will be going as number 11 in this field. That is Shanna Braspanek of the Dutch team there in the orange. She will be the first rider to take to the start line tonight. So her bike is already there, and now she is being called to the line. So just to give you a rundown of who is racing, we will see Anna Meares going as the 11th rider. Alexander Guerra will be the 12th rider to go. Rebecca James of Great Britain will be going number 14, followed by Miriame Welte of Germany, and then Li Wai-Tsi of Hong Kong, China, the defending champion, will be going as number 16. This is an event then of absolute discipline. You've got to get full-on effort out over the 2 laps. So Shanna Braspanek, the 22-year-old national Keirin champion from the Dutch squad, getting underway in a moment. Counting down the first rider of tonight's competition safely out of the starting blocks. You've really got to focus on driving hard through those pedals, trying to get every little bit of effort out. Interestingly, Shanna Braspanek is the first rider I've seen with double disc wheels on her bike. Maybe has decided that the wind in this arena is not too bad as she goes through the opening 250 and 20.040. A little bit wavering as she comes off the black line. The compression in these bends is very difficult for these riders, but she'll race through to set the tempo for everyone else. 35 is the under 23 European Keirin champion. She sets the standard for everyone else tonight. Nice replay then at the start, looking right back to get the momentum so that she can push right down, driving through the pedals to get that gear turning. Big gear to get underway, right up to top speed. a little power meter under the saddle still, so that she can capture as much information as possible and the coaches can analyse performance. So you get the idea now, if you haven't seen the 500-metre time trial before, a discipline where we just have a straight final. So 16 riders will race. The fastest rider at the end of the 16 will take a gold medal and, of course, will take the rainbow bands as the world champion. Next rider to go, heading up onto the starting blocks from Mexico in the green and white there is Franny Fong. Just waiting to ensure that the bike is in those starting gates. They are not released, they're released automatically by the timing mechanism. Lovely shot there with the beautifully clean mirrored lens looking right down the track. So the Mexican rider then, Franny Fong, will try and beat the time of 35.121. Anna Mears set the world record in Aguascalientes in December. The first woman ever to go under 33 seconds for a 500-metre time trial. Counting down then to the start of Franny Fong. Leaning right back again to get the gear turning, using that leverage to get on top of that gear as quickly as possible. As we mentioned last night, the audience, we've got the foam pads around the bottom of the track. The riders are not allowed to go down onto the blue around the bends there. The Cote d'Azur, as you can see, she's not only fastest way around the track, she's finding it difficult to hold the bike down in that gauge line. Through the 250, 21.04, slower than Braspani. As she heads up to complete the 500 metres, hits the line there with 13.556. Two riders. Good start. Really struggled though to hold the bike as they went round the various turns. You can see there just how much that bike is throwing up the track. I was talking to Joe Rousel earlier, the British rider, the Olympic champion of the team pursuit, and she said that the compression in these turns is very difficult to hold the bike at all down on the track. It throws you out of turn 2 like a slingshot. You go up the track, and out of turn 4 it's exactly the same. So it can be very, very difficult for a rider to maintain position on the track. Third rider to go will be the Ukrainian rider. This is Elena Sos. Pedals, so double security. The time to beat then 35.121. Braspanic of the Netherlands squad with an opening 250 of 20.040. Safely out of the starting blocks, focusing there, straight arms on driving through those pedals, getting that bike up to speed. She's also chosen to have the double disc wheels in as well, so the coaches have obviously decided that technically it's worth it. Heading up to complete the 250, going through there, 20.168, actually the slowest rider on the track over the opening 250. It may be that she's put a big gear on. She does look good over the second 250. The time to beat then 35.121 as she heads up to complete that but it's 35.442 with the second place. For Elena Zos. Never really got on top of that gear in the opening 250. Was the third fastest and accelerated a little bit over the second 250. If you think about last night in the women's team sprint, you're looking at an opening 250 last night at around 18.9. Pretty warmed up here in Cali because earlier on in qualification of the Keirin, one of their riders won the Keirin heat and the roof lifted off this place. Juliana Gaviria, her boyfriend, was that rider who set that great Keirin performance earlier. We'll see him later on tonight. She's getting married in a few weeks' time. She has been the team sprint champion in American Games. Here we go. Let's see what sort of time she can put in. She's got to keep the momentum going. She dives up the banking there, can't quite hold the bike down, but she slings away into the finish line. Hits it now, 34.684, and she is the fastest so far. What a reception for Juliana Gaviria here in this Cali velodrome. The crowd absolutely loves seeing the Colombian riders. It's fantastic to hear. Heading up to the line then, goes top of the leaderboard, an opening 250, 19.665, and finishes in 34.684. There's the standings then. Gaviria leads ahead of Braspanic, Toss is in third, and Fong is in fourth. The fifth rider to take the track men will be from China, Xi Jinping. Liking the retro style shoes. What do you think of those? Red with laces. Those are the sort of shoes that Taylor Finney, the American youngster who's just won the Tour of Dubai, would be pretty happy with, I reckon. Very shiny, got the laces in. The Chinese team then with a few new riders taking part in these World Championships, changing the guard, ready for Rio 2016. This is Xi Jinping. The time to beat then 34.684, set by the Colombian. And she's underway again. Opening then 250, 19.419, and that is the fastest opening 250 so far. So let's see whether she can translate that to beating the 34.684. Heading up to the line then, and does beat it, goes top of the leaderboard, 34.400. Not sure that start was quite judged right, but she got the momentum going. An opening 250, 19.419. Juliana Gaviria, 19.665. Sixth rider then to take to the track will be Keirin Maeda of Japan. Jing Jingxi is the leader, 34.400, average speed of 52.325 kilometers an hour. Last minute adjustment then of the straps on the shoes. Just looking at a comparison then to give you an idea about the riders who go later. The opening 250 last night of Miriame Welte in the women's team sprint was 18.821. The opening 250 of Jess Varnish was 18.986. So gives you an indication of the sort of times that these riders are looking to try and set. And Keirin Maeda is now underway. 19.419 is the fastest 250 so far, as Maeda goes through slow in 20.040. That's identical to the time of Braspanek of the Netherlands. And Maeda now just struggling again to hold the bike down on the line. Looks smooth, but finishes in 35.499. Good enough for fifth place. Just beats Fong of Mexico into fifth place there. Lovely slow motion shot of Keirin Maeda trying to set a good time there in the 500-meter time trial. So thank you to all of you for joining me tonight. You can join me on Twitter at @McCrossan as we look here at the women's 500-meter time trial standings with 6 riders gone out of the 16 that we are going to see take to the start tonight. The medal will be decided at the end of those 16 riders, and the next rider to take to the track is the British rider Victoria Williamson. She was the bronze medalist in the team sprint last year with Rebecca James, and this time she has not ridden the team sprint. She is concentrating instead on the 500-meter time trial and also on the sprint competition, which will be coming up later. Saw her warming up this morning, looked very relaxed. Looks like she's enjoying being here. Got that little tattoo on the inside of her ankle. We must find out the significance of that one day. I'll go and ask her overnight. I'll ask her first thing tomorrow morning, and we can find out why she's got an anchor on the inside of her ankle. There you go. So Vix Williamson is a rider who is an opening rider for the team sprint, so we could see a very fast opening 250, and that's where the discipline comes in. She can't go blasting off the blocks too much. She's got to hold on all the way through the 500, but there you go, as she concentrates hard. Normally she would have a rider getting on her wheel to go with her, as she doesn't have the aero bars in that we saw on Gaviria. So she's right there in the sprinter's position. Goes through quick, 19.282, the fastest 250 we've seen. The question now is, can she hold on all the way through the next 250 to set a fast time? Vix Williamson of Great Britain heading up towards the finish, completes that. 34.305 for Williamson. That's the fastest rider so far, 52.470. Here's the start. You would expect the start to be good, and it was. Real gritted teeth, sheer power as she comes out of the starting gate. Then she drives on through the 250. Chose not to have the double disc wheels in, and then held on well over the second 250 to finish in 34.305 for the British rider. The standings look like this then. Great Britain lead, 34.305. Xi Jinping of China in second place, and Juliana Gaviria of Colombia in third place. Those are the 7 riders who have raced so far. The Dutch rider, Edda Zlittli, heading now towards the track. She's one of the duo who was relegated yesterday in the team sprint for an illegal change. The reason for that illegal change was that actually the riders were crossing wheels before the change zone. A lot of strapping on the leg of Edda Zlittli there. She's been riding a lot of the World Cup. She also rode the Revolution Series in Great Britain. I've seen her race quite a few times during this season, as they just try and adjust the bike in that starting gate. She's not going to get on it until she's happy. Clips the feet into the pedals, everything pretty matching. The orange shoes to go with the rest of the kit. She's a very powerful sprinter. She'll be disappointed with what happened yesterday, so we'll see whether she can now take the focus and motivation to try and put herself in with a chance of a medal here in this 500-meter time trial. Last little bit of instruction from the coach. She's chosen to have the aero bars in, different to the tactic employed by Vix Williamson. Here we go then, Edda Zlittli powering her way off the start then. Tall rider, choosing the double disc wheels, also choosing the aero skis that she'll lie down onto now once she comes out of turn 4. And she will try and set the fastest 250. Second quickest through there, 19.290 compared to 19.282 for Williamson. Zlittli looks like she's rocking a little bit, fighting that bike, but has she got the speed? Does it translate to a fast time? Hits the line there, goes quickest, 33.909. The first rider under 34 seconds in this individual 500-meter time trial, and that's a quick time, 53.083 kilometers an hour. So it looked like she started in a big gear, got on top of it, and over the second 250 on the aero skis, really motored. Goes top of the leaderboard and has a substantial advantage now on the second place rider, Vix Williamson. Here we can see it, 33.909, Williamson 34.305, and Xi Jinping 34.4. The French rider then getting ready to take to the track, silver medalist in this discipline in 2011. This is Sandy Claire. She's gone with the gold laces on the white shoes tonight. they wouldn't be far wrong in a salsa class. So I guess it kind of matches Cali, the capital of salsa. Bit of bling for the shoes this evening on the French rider Sandy Claire. Coach giving that little bit of instruction, trying to get her motivated. She's got the aero skis on, not choosing the double disc wheel though. Can she clinch a silver medal again, or a gold? Can she be there on the podium? Really drives out of the blocks. Sandy Claire then going for gold for France. Heading out around the first couple of turns, trying to get on the gear, trying to keep a nice low aerodynamic tuck as she heads round. 19.290 is the time to beat, and she is quickest. 19.228 for Sandy Claire of France. Now she lifts those knees, keeps the momentum going, picks up the cadence through the final couple of turns on those aero skis, looking good, hits a line. Oh, slowed over the second 250. 34.097, so Ellis Littley is still the leader, but Sandy Claire goes into second place. A really good start, pushing herself right forward to get the gear turning over. Then onto the aero skis, but Littley was quicker once she got into the aero tuck. Hits the line. 33.909 is the time of Littley. 34.097 for Sandy Claire. Our 10th rider gets to the starting gate. This is Tania Calvo of Spain, the 21-year-old. Tania Calvo then getting the bike into the starting gate. Tania Calvo then, the 21-year-old from Spain, getting herself ready for this two-lap 500-meter time trial. The time to beat, 33.909. The Dutch rider is still top of the leaderboard with 9 riders raced so far. Get ready if you're an Aussie fan, because the next rider to go after this will be Anna Mears, looking for her 11th gold medal in World Championship history. Tania Calvo then getting ready. You're looking at an opening 250 of 19.228 to be in first place. Sandy Claire is the fastest rider opening over that opening 250 so far. The youngster from Spain now looking for a fast start. And here we go then. The coach starting the stopwatch and running alongside her. Choosing the double disc wheels again, got the aero skis on. It's interesting to see the different technical combinations that these riders are using on this Cali track, which is proving to be interesting as far as technical choices and racing are concerned. Fourth fastest through 250, 19.395 for Tania Calvo. She wavers a little bit, goes up onto the red line, looking to set a quick time. Third fastest, 34.157. Here's the replay then, leaning right back, pushing those pedals forward. She's making sure that she gets right on top of that gear as quick as possible. It was a good opening 250, fourth fastest so far. And she improved a little bit to now be third fastest after 10 riders. Right, let's get ready then for Anna Mears. 4 times a world champion, the world record holder in this discipline, set not too long ago on the 6th of December 2013 in that magnificent velodrome in Aguascalientes in Mexico. Mears is such a great competitor. She was the first ever woman under 34 seconds in a 500-meter time trial. That was a long time ago. But now she has been the first woman to ever go under 33 seconds for a 500-meter time trial. She was first of all in this discipline, the junior world champion back in 2001. And since then, she's had such a stunning career. Anna Mears going for gold. If she indeed wins tonight in this 500-meter time trial, she would be the most celebrated woman ever in World Championship history. She's already got 10 rainbow jerseys. The only other woman who's ever done that is Felicia Belanger. Tonight, Anna Mears would get 11 World Championship titles. It would be engraved in history. The Australian rider, who is now in the starting blocks, getting ready for the assault on gold. Well, Mears looked very, very good in the Australian National Championships. She looked very good in Aguascalientes, setting that world record. I spoke to her in Manchester at the first World Cup, and she was returning to top flight competition after the break after the Olympics. .33.909, the time to beat for Anna Mears as she grits her teeth and gets that gear rolling. She's got the double disc wheels in. She's got the aero skis. Is this track going to be to her liking? She's already quick through the 125. The Australian rocket now heading round the track, 250 metres. She is under 19 seconds for the opening. 18.989 for Anna Mears. Now she's really got to accelerate through the last 250. The time to beat, 33.909. As she hits the line now, 33.548. Anna Mears is top of the leaderboard by 0.361 of a second. Her time, 33.548. Here's the replay of Anna Mears as she gets right on top of the momentum already. Really pushing hard. Look at those eyes, absolute focus. Mears racing around the track, hitting the line, 33.548. And on a track where you've got lots of different technical things to think about, she has looked very good. 53.654 kilometres an hour for Mears. That is now the standard for all the other riders to beat. Well, thanks for your messages. Join me at @McCrossan on Twitter if you would like to. And whichever nationality you are supporting in these World Championships, we'll make sure you know who the riders are, what countries are taking part, and who is going for the medals. But Anna Mears has set out the stall for everyone. The time to beat, 33.548. 5 riders left to go. The next rider then to take to the starting gate will be the world champion of this discipline in 2008. This is the Cuban rider, Alessandra Guerra. She first won a bronze medal in this discipline in 2006. And since that world title that we saw in 2008, haven't really seen the best of Alessandra Guerra. Is tonight going to be the night? Was a pupil of the UCI Sprint School down in Aigle in Switzerland. I've seen her training on that track on a few occasions under the tutorship of Fred Magna of France, who's looked after that UCI sprint school. Alexander Edmondson just doing every little clip up she possibly can, making sure the shoes are tight. So she's done it before, talking to herself. Anna Mears's opening 250 was the only rider under 19 seconds, 18.98 and 18.989 for Anna Mears's. The countdown for the Cuban, Alessandra Guerra. Very good start out of the start blocks there. She was right on the beat. Now she's going to try and get that gear up to top speed. She's got the aero skis in. Really pulling that right foot over though, isn't she? As she tries to get the momentum going. Those straps in those shoes all over the place. If you're an aerodynamic specialist, you would say, why isn't she tucked them in? Looks like a little bit of a mistake there from her. That will cost her a little bit of drag as we go round this track. Second fastest at 250, hits the line now, 33.845. Well, it was a strong ride there. Alessandra Guerra looking good. 33.845. But Anna Mears's is still top of the leaderboard, 33.548. She was consistent all the way through. Didn't quite beat the 19-second barrier, 19.030, just outside it. Mears, though, still top of the leaderboard for Australia. 4 riders left to go. Who is going to take gold? We have got some very good riders still on their way. There's your standings. Mears will be sitting there in the Australian camp in the centre of the track, hoping that no one beats this time. Here's an up-and-coming rider, someone who could challenge. From Russia, Anastasia Voinova. We know that she has got a very good sprint on her. She's the under-23 European champion of the sprint. She's a former team sprint junior European champion as well. So Anastasia Voinova just making sure the skin suit is absolutely perfect. To get in the medals, the time to beat is 33.909. Ellis Litley of the Netherlands is still there in the top 3 places. It's Mears followed by Guerra, followed by Litley. Can Anastasia Voinova now produce the performance to put herself on the podium? Following her will be Rebecca James, the bronze medalist last year. Then Miriame Welte, the silver medalist last year. And the last rider to go will be the defending champion, Li White-Sea of Hong Kong, China. So Voinova now just got to get herself focused, get all the effort out to try and beat the time of Anna Mears's. Anastasia Voinova then. Underway. The opening 1.25 is quick. Look at that. 11.642 through the 1.25 point. Let's see how she looks against Anna Mears's. She's going a little bit slower down. 19.024. That's the second quickest time through the 250. She's rocking and rolling a little bit, has the elbows right out, real sprinter style from Anastasia Voinova, heading up to the line. 33.789 from Voinova, good enough for second place. Can't beat the time of Anna Mears. She's 0.24 down on Anna Mears, but she had an opening 1.25 that was quick, really fast. Then the second 1.25 was slower than Mears, and then she held on over the second 2.50. It's an interesting style. Those elbows are right out. Here's the standings then. Anna Mears, 33.548, still the leader. Voinova in second place. Lissandra Guerra still in third. Three riders left to go, and they are the gold, silver and bronze medalists of last year. This is a rider who last year had such a stunning World Championships. Well, she started already with the same bronze medal that she got for last year, opening up her campaign. Last year she walked away from these World Championships with 4 medals, 2 gold medals, 2 world titles that she will defend. She took the bronze medal in this discipline last year. Rebecca James then from Abergavenny in Wales. Her boyfriend, one of the Welsh rugby players, George North, getting strapped into the pedals. I must admit, Rebecca James looks very, very focused in these championships. A bit of a contrast, I would say, to last year. Last year was really all about the fact that she was recovering from injuries and illness, and really she came into the World Championships with a totally different outlook. This time, she is the world champion in 2 disciplines. She's a bronze medalist in a couple of occasions last year. Can she now do the same thing and win a medal in this 500-meter time trial? Here we go. Last night in the team sprint with Jess Varnish. She looked very, very good over the second 250 in the team sprint. As she gets on top of that gear now, she's got the aero skis in, but she started steady. She does tend to have a bigger gear on the bike. It's 11 something over the opening 1.25. Now 19.283. She's a little bit further down there, 6th place. She's really got to turn the screw now and try and accelerate. Here is Rebecca James heading up to the completion of the 500-meter time trial. It's not going to be a medal this time. 5th place, 34.021 for Rebecca James. She'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Driving through the pedals. The opening 1.25 was a little bit steady. Hits the line there, and she will be down in 5th place. Anna Mears is for sure going to be on the podium tonight. The question is, what colour is it going to be? Is it going to be gold? Is it going to be silver or bronze? Mears is going to be on the podium. Only 2 riders left, and she tops the leaderboard with 33.548. The next rider to go, as Mears turns the pedals over there on the rollers. She knows she's got a medal. The next rider to start will be the silver medalist from last year. There is Anna Mears. Oh, we get a smile from her. Fingers crossed. Is she going to set the record books toppling yet again? If you're Australian right now, I'm sure you're all on the edge of your seats. you will be having your fingers crossed and hoping that she can bring home the world title. It would be her 11th world title. But this rider, last night in the team sprint, was on stunning form. The silver medalist last year, Miriame Welte of Germany, paired with Christina Vogel. Can she beat the time of Mears? It's all you can do in this discipline, isn't it? You warm up, you get yourself ready, you get yourself focused, you give absolutely everything, and then you just have to wait to see if someone beats you. It's an agonising wait for Anna Mears, but her normal personality shines through, and she'll just try and relax, she'll smile, she'll talk to everyone. Right, the double strap's been done up by Miriame Welte. Already got the medal from last night, so bit of relaxation in the mind. Look at those nails. She's got the German colours on the thumbs. She was walking back last night from anti-doping, walked past the press room, gave me a big thumbs up after her medal. Her and Christina Vogel have got so much energy between them, it's incredible. You'd expect them to be a little bit tired. Look at her talking to herself, just giving her last little bit of instruction. Getting herself in the zone. Both thumbs with the German flag. There she goes then. Miriame Welte, the lead rider in the team sprint with Christina Vogel. Let's see what the opening 1:25 is like. Just wave it a little bit out of turn 2. Goes through there. She's down on the time of Mears, 11.749. Now she's going to try and get on top of that gear over the 250. She's quick, 18.946. This is going to be very, very close. Did Anna Mears accelerate over the 250? She's faster through 3.75. Miriame Welte looking strong, heading to the line. She's fastest, 33.451. Miriame Welte puts herself in the gold medal position. It was expected. Yesterday she looked so strong. Blasted herself here out of the starting blocks. Really increased the tempo. Never let up. Through 1:25, through 250, through 3.75 she was fastest, and it translated to the quickest time. She is now in the gold medal position. Anna Mears in silver. Anastasia Voinova now in the bronze medal. Oh, little grimace from Anna Mears. What can she do? It's not going to be the 11th world title in the 500-metre time trial. Welte leads, ahead of Mears, ahead of Voinova. There's the rest of the rundown of the top 8. Well, I'm sure all the Australian fans, I know there's so many of you out there, will just cheer Anna Mears onto the podium. She's sure of something. And then she'll come back and she will try to take a gold medal in one of the other disciplines. But Miriame Welte got that 500-metre time trial totally nailed tonight. The last rider to go of the 16 riders is the defending champion, Li Weite of Hong Kong, China. She has a kind of swagger about her when she walks out onto the track. Is it going to be 2 golds in 2 days for Miriame Welte? Only one rider then between Miriame Welte and the gold medal, and it's the rider who is the defending champion, Li Weite, getting ready. Such a talented bike rider is Li Weite. Here we go then. The opening 250 of Miriame Welte was 18.946. Only 2 riders under 19 seconds for the opening 250. It's Welte and Mears. Five riders are under the 34-second mark. Here we go. Let's see what the opening 125 looks like as Lee Welte now races around the track, accelerating, looking strong so far, but she's slow through 125, 12.148. Right now, it looks like the gold medal could be going to Germany, and she's way down at 250, 19.462 for Lee Welte of Hong Kong, China, through the 3.75, and she's slower again. So heading up to the line, it looks like the gold medal's going to go to Germany. She's 6th fastest, 33.983. So Lee Welte finishes in 6th, and there we are. Miriame Welte is the gold medalist. Take a bow, Miriame. A stunning 500-meter time trial. 2 gold medals in 2 days. Very emotional. There she is. Takes the bow. Shakes her head. Well, why shake your head, Miriame? It was a great time trial. Very well deserved. 33.451 from Miriame Welte. Anna Mears of Australia takes the silver medal, and the young and up-and-coming rider Anastasia Voinova of Russia takes the bronze. Confirmation then of the result in the women's 500-meter time trial. Miriame Welte takes gold in 33.451. Mears in 2nd takes the silver, and the bronze medal goes to Russia with Anastasia Voinova. Well, thanks to all of you for joining me tonight as we bring you the live coverage. The first gold medal has been decided. And as is normal with track racing, we don't hang around because we're going to decide the second one now. And this is going to be the men's scratch race. And what a lineup we have of these riders who will take to the bankings. Men's scratch race, 60 laps of the track, 15 kilometres in total. This is the run-through of the 20 riders who are competing in the men's scratch race. Well, as the riders get formed up, we'll make sure we pick them out and introduce some of the 20 riders, or all of the 20 riders, if we can manage it, through the 15 kilometres. The idea of this race, very simple if you're watching track racing for the first time. Men's scratch race, 20 riders on the track. The first rider to cross the line at the end of the 60 laps will be the winner. If you attack and take a lap on the rest of the field, then you're 1 lap up. No more complicated than that. Well, as you can see then, 10 riders line up at the top of the banking. 10 riders are held up at the bottom of the banking there, around the gauge line, the black line. Another very busy night in the centre of the track there. Lots of riders taking part in the 5 medal finals. So as we look across these riders getting themselves lined up. The Colombian rider yet again getting a big welcome from the fans. If he goes on the attack tonight, this place is going to go mad. Jordan Parra, the Colombian rider, towards the back of the string there. Well, in here, of course, is the defending champion, Martin Irvine of Ireland. He took that title ahead of Andreas Müller, who is also in here this evening. Müller of Austria, you may remember that final if you're a cycling fan. There's Tim Velt of the Netherlands. And, of course, last year, the bronze medal went to the Australian rider. That was Luke Davison, who is not riding this evening. Australia are represented, though, by Glenn O'Shea. Last year's race was won with an attack by Martin Irvine and Andreas Müller, who raced away and held off the pack just before the finish. It was a thrilling climax to the 15-kilometre scratch race. We were all on the edge of our seats as we wheeled those 2 riders on to just stay away from the rest of the field before the finish. That they managed to do. It was a great event. And scratch racing always good on the track. Last night's women's scratch race was brilliant. Kelly Drutz winning the women's scratch race for Belgium. 20 riders on the track then. They'll all form up. The gun will go to signify the race start, and then we have 60 laps of racing. Normally we get lots of attacks, so we just keep an eye on who is involved in the action. In fact, the rider's not been given a start that lap. They've been told to continue around yet again. The reason for that, there was a break in the peloton, the bunch of riders. And the commissaires, the judges in the centre of the track, will not allow the race to go on until we are sure that the peloton is all together. Right, 60 laps to go. Right on cue at the front is Glenn O'Shea of Australia. Gold medalist last night in the team pursuit. Can he win a gold again here in this scratch race? On the back of the string in the orange is Tim Velt of the Netherlands. And Elia Viviani of Italy swings up the track, lets the Frenchman go through. That's Vivian Brise, followed by the Ukrainian rider on the front wearing number 76. And that is Roman Luchin. The German rider hits the front then, number 190, Maximilian Bayer, swings up the track. You may be asking yourselves, if you haven't seen much of this before, why are they swinging up the track like this? They don't seem to do an awful lot of pace making. Well, early stages, you don't want to be sitting with your nose in the wind too early. So you will just do your turn, just play into the hands of everyone else, use your tactics, and you'll say, yeah, well, I've been on the front, so you'll swing up, maybe do a quarter of a lap, something like that, and then let the next rider through. There in the green is the defending champion, Martin Irvine, from Ireland, sitting third wheel from the front. The banking on this velodrome, about 12 degrees either side. It's around about 42, 43 degrees on the far ends. Very, very steep. If you've never been in the velodrome, normally when we walk in with new people to a velodrome who've seen it on TV, they stand on the end bankings and they just always say, wow, I never realised it was that steep. The Mexican rider in the green and white then, going through to the front there, Alberto Covarrubias. And then the South African rider is the next to hit the front, Nolan Hoffman. Little group starting to move away, led by Tim Velt, the Omnium champion of Europe. And now 5 riders going clear, led by the Spanish rider, Martin Blaha. In the red and yellow, starts to accelerate as Elia Viviani of Italy, sitting 6 wheels from the front, crosses the gap. The Ukrainian rider continuing with the tempo on the front in blue and yellow. Roman Luchin, now he gets a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field, as again it's Viviani who is the rider who's trying to shut the gap. Viviani, you'll notice, wearing a lime green helmet, signifying he rides as a World Tour professional on the Cannondale team. And last year's silver medalist now hits the front of the peloton, Andreas Müller. Still, we are continuing with this attack. It is the Ukrainian, Roman Luchin, with this little gap on the rest of the field, glances across again. Well, he's maintaining his advantage, maybe a quarter of a lap of the track with 49 laps to go. Resting the forearms on those bars. May have that little, the bars that have that little flat section in them, so he can ride nice and relaxed. Keeping the cadence high, 48 laps to go. Well, he's starting to open up an advantage, and if the peloton don't react soon, then he is going to be 1 lap ahead. This is a very, very good attack indeed. We're now seeing a bit of a counter-attack just off the sight of the cameras, as a couple of riders recognise that this is a little bit dangerous. And now the counter-attack comes from the peloton as Roman Luchin tries to stay away. The Belgian rider going on the attack with the World Tour professional Elia Viviani. Viviani, a very good rider indeed, a stage winner in the Tour of Beijing, a stage winner in the Tour of Turkey and the Tour of Britain. The attack now comes from Moreno de Pau of Belgium, looking to try and take the gold medal for Belgium, to join up that with Kelly Druits, but still it's Roman Luchin who is still on the attack as the Australian Glenn O'Shea senses the danger, tries to keep the momentum turning. Now remember, yesterday the peloton pretty much stayed together, and I think I mentioned about 3/4 of the way through that Kelly Druits had ridden a very clever race. She just sat in the wheels, a little bit like a classic bike race, which is obviously an awful lot longer, but just don't show your face, don't play your card too early, wait for the moment. That's what Kelly Druits did yesterday. She timed her attack to perfection. The defending champion, Martin Irvine, on the front, now swings up, lets the Austrian rider, his silver medalist of last year, go through. And now the German rider takes up the pacemaking, Maximilian Bayer, followed by Irvine yet again, who I don't know if he's 100% confident in his ability tonight. I was talking to him earlier on today. Irvine said he spent the time around about Christmas moving over to Denver. He rides for United Healthcare on the road. That took a lot of his time. He really only has been on the track for a week in Los Angeles, and since he's been here, so he doesn't know what his track form's like. You know he's going to have good road legs. He will have been putting in a lot of miles ready for the road season, and you can see now the strong riders starting to put their stamp of authority on this race as Viviani urges on this little group, this quartet joining up at the front. So it's the Czech rider swinging up the track. That is Martin Blaha. Sorry, I said earlier on, I must admit that Blaha was Spanish. He's of course not. It's not a Spanish name, is it? Viviani on the front, continuing the momentum, swings up the track. He's such a good track rider. In addition to his stage wins, he was the silver medalist in this scratch race in 2011. And he is looking to get this quartet moving, and that's what they're doing. And if you can hear the crowd in the background, The reason for that is the Colombian rider has just jumped across the gap. They're going to go absolutely wild. Jordan Parra makes it 5. 5 riders on the attack, 36 laps to go. It's Martin Blaha, Martin Irvine, followed by Lutzeschin, followed by Elia Viviani, and on the second wheel now, Jordan Parra. 5 riders on the move. This group is looking dangerous, and they're on their feet now, urging on the Colombian, and he's going to be so motivated by this. Sorry about that little camera shot. Just making sure you're paying attention. Irvine, followed by Viviani, followed by Lutzeschin, followed by Parra. On the wheel at the back is Martin Blaha of the Czech Republic. These 5 riders working well. Lutzeschin and the Colombian rider Parra is missing turns. This race really being stretched now. One more rider joins them. That's the British rider. Jonathan Dibben from my home city of Southampton joins into the group at the front, but it looks like it's all going to start to come back together as Irvine looks around to see what sort of damage is being done. The answer, Martin, is not too much as Dibben goes to the front, swings up the track. Maybe he doesn't want to show his cards too early. Originally, the British were going to be represented by Sam Harrison, but they made a little bit of a change and they put in Johnny Dibben, his 2nd World Championships. Now we get the attack of Hong Kong, China with Chung King Lok. And the Russian rider going with this attack as well. This is Ivan Kovalev. Well, this attack's starting to look good, with everyone has been under a little bit of pressure. Suddenly, the attack like last night, it's a long way out though, 28 laps. Well, this rider's going to lap the field. It's going to be 1 lap any moment now, and it's because the peloton had decided to calm down, and 1 lap taken by Chung King Lok of Hong Kong, China. And he's gone straight to the front of the group again, and he is now the leader, and the Russian rider also is going to be up there. He's going to take a lap. That is Kovalev. 2 riders are now in the lead. Chung King Lok of Hong Kong, China, Kovalev of Russia, and those 2 riders made it look very, very easy to take the lap. There is now another attack going on as more riders try to break clear. They know in order to get a medal they have got to take a lap on the rest of the field. 4 riders joining up. One of them is a New Zealander, and that of course is in the field Dylan Kennett, who won the bronze medal last night in the team pursuit. He's driving on this quartet. Irvine is also in there. I think Viviani is one of the riders in the group. Can they take a lap? Oh, Viviani really slowed in the headwind at the top of the track. So it is Dylan Kennett of New Zealand, Martin Irvine, Jordan Parra and Elia Viviani trying now to join up and take a lap. 2 more riders trying to race across. One of them is the British rider Johnny Dibben as he tries to get up there as well. He knows it's important. These riders could take a lap. 22 to go. Irvine looks down at the wheels and asks his legs to give himself just a little bit more energy. Not long now, they're about a quarter of a lap away as Irvine drives on. Dylan Kennett, who rode so well yesterday, bronze medalist last night, a Oceania Scratch Race champion. Irvine now relaxing. He is looking strong as he goes away. He just wants the peloton to slow up a little bit. There are 4 or 5 strong riders at the front of this race, and it is Chung King Lok and Ivan Kovalev who are the 2 leaders with 1 lap of an advantage. And I'm just noticing that the rider who's taken a lap, Chun King Lok, is now getting a bike change out of sight of the cameras and is now going to get himself back into the action. Here we go. So Chun King Lok has had a bike change. As we keep yourselves going here, we'll keep involved in the action. So Chun King Lok has had a lap. Here we go. And now he's had to have a bike change. You'll notice that back tyre soft, I think. So he has to get back onto the bike. This is the defending champion. He always looks like he's grimacing, but he is now going to be up there to take a lap on the rest of the field. Martin Irvine of Ireland, the defending champion of the scratch race, is now going to be into the group. He is going to be one lap ahead with Chun King Lok and Kovalev. Is he going to make it? He's so close. He just needs to get on the wheel. There's another acceleration. He looks down yet again. He is almost in touching distance of the rest of the peloton. He's almost on the wheel of a couple of back markers. One of them is a Mexican rider. His mouth is wide open. Is he going to make it? I'm not sure he's going to do it. He's got to accelerate hard now. If you're Irish, you will right now be trying to give him a little bit of momentum. The peloton has suddenly got a little bit more power in it as they sense 12 laps to go. Irvine digging deep. This is what he did last year. He just wants that little sensation. There's the coach in the centre of the track saying to him, come on, Martin, just get on. All you have to do is get a lap and you've got a medal. It's so close here for the Irish rider, who earlier on today said to me, I just don't know how I'm going to go. I'm here in body for sure. The question is whether I've got the power to try and defend my title. He is now going to try and do it. He's so close. It's still a quarter of a lap. He needs to do it soon because this peloton's going to start to accelerate with 10 laps to go. Irvine just trying to find any last little bit of energy. There they are on the other side of the track. He is going to be assured of a medal if he can get there. The question is what colour he'll get as he drives on a little bit more. The Irish rider, the defending champion, Martin Irvine, head down yet again. If he can just get himself in the slipstream, then he will be a medalist again in the World Championships. Look at that. He is going to do it. Martin Irvine takes a lap on the rest of the field. He is now up there with Chun King Lok and with Kovalev. And Chun King Lok now goes on the attack again. He's the rider who's taken the lap. So we have Chun King Lok of Hong Kong, China. There he is in the red and blue, and I think he's been given a bike with a saddle that's a little bit too low. Martin Irvine of Ireland and Kovalev. 7 laps to go. Are you keeping up with this? It's a good scratch race, isn't it? A last-ditch attempt with 5 laps of racing to go as the rider from the Ukraine in the blue and yellow tries to break away. I'm not sure he's going to have enough time. This race is all going to be about which rider out of Kovalev, Chun King Lok and Martin Irvine takes the sprint. It's going to be very, very close indeed. We're going to try and pick them out. 4 laps to go. It is still the Ukrainian rider desperately trying to put himself in with a shout of a medal. Moving up towards the front of the peloton now, out of sight of the cameras. A little bit wavy in there. Right now between all these riders, Irvine is sitting right on the back of the group, looking a little bit tired. It's not about this man now. 3 laps to go. I don't think he's going to take a lap. It's going to come down to which rider in the field is going to take it. The Russian rider is moving up on the outside. He is going to try and go on the attack to take the medal. We're coming round now with a couple of laps to go, and out of sight of the cameras is a sprint that's going to go on. Kovalev is right at the front of the peloton. I can see this guy is not going to take it. They're going to come round with 1 lap to go, and it's going to be an almighty sprint for the medals. Kovalev is in second place in the string, in moving up on the outside. Is he going to take it? It's going to be a sprint now. Para's going up round the outside too, but Kovalev is still in the lead. Oh, Kovalev swung up the track. I don't know who took it. Kovalev's going to cross the line up there. He was pretty close to taking the medals. I think Kovalev has taken it. I think Irvine is going to be in second place, and I think Chun King Lok is going to be in third. The Ukrainian rider was trying to take a lap, it didn't matter. Here's the replay, he crosses the line, but behind him, which rider has crossed the line first? Let's look, here we go. The Colombian rider is up there. We are looking for a Russian jersey, or a Hong Kong China jersey, or an Irish jersey. Which one is it going to be? As the camera continues, there's the Dutchman Tim Veld, he crosses the line. Next is going to be the Swiss, followed by last year's silver medalist Andreas Müller. Then it's going to be the Russian rider, there he is. The world title goes to Kovalev, the Russian. He almost got taken out of sight of the cameras, almost got taken out of the entire action. Martin Irvine is going to get the silver medal for Ireland, and the bronze medal is going to go to Chung King Lok. Ivan Kovalev celebrating now as the world champion of the scratch race. There's your silver medalist in the green of Ireland. I said to him earlier on today, you're looking a lot leaner than normal, and he said, I've lost no weight whatsoever. I'm on a smoothie diet. Every lunchtime, I go and have a smoothie and I avoid lunch. I just have 2 meals a day now, and I'm trying desperately to lose a little bit of weight, increase the power. This man, though, is the world champion. And Martin Irvine said it's just not working. I'm losing no weight whatsoever, but I might look a little bit lean. He puts his finger in his mouth there, up against his kind of throat. That's a signal that his team director Henrik Redant uses all the time in every conversation. It's to show I was absolutely on my limit. I was completely wrecked. Confirmation of the result then of the scratch race. They took their chance. Kovalev takes the rainbow bands, Irvine takes the silver, and Chung King Lok of Hong Kong China takes third. At one lap down there is the New Zealander. Good ride by him to take 7th. Glenn O'Shea of Australia took 8th place. And the Colombian rider sneaks into the top 10, Jordan Parra. Just to update you then on what's coming up next, we're going to have the 500-meter time trial award ceremony. That'll be after this, and then we will be moving on to the men's Keirin. The next round should be some thrilling racing. But in the meantime, before we get to the victory ceremony, let's hear from the world champion of the 500-meter time trial, Miriame Welte.
Miriame, congrats, what a fantastic performance.
Thank you very much, it was so great today, and I'm so happy about the win, and yeah, it feels just great.
This is your second title in 2 days, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's been so hard today, and the times has been so good, and as I seen Anna's time, it's like, oh my god, that's faster. I really have done my best and tried to go faster, and it's amazing that it worked.
Last year you did the second. This is a kind of revenge for you?
Ja, ein bisschen auf jeden Fall. Also ich war letztes Jahr schon glücklich mit dem 2. Platz und ja, es war eng letztes Jahr, wahrscheinlich genauso knapp wie dieses Jahr, und es ist einfach großartig gewonnen zu haben, und gerade gegen Anna Mir, sie hat einen Weltrekord gefahren in Aguascalientes, und ja, ich wollte das so unbedingt heute hier den Titel zu gewinnen, und ich bin so happy, dass es geklappt hat.
Thank you very much. Vielen Dank.
Lovely to hear from Miriame Welte, the new world champion of the 500-meter time trial, saying the time of Anna Mears was very, very fast, but she powered through to take the rainbow band. So coming up after the award ceremony will be the men's Keirin. We'll then have the award ceremony for the men's scratch. And then we'll move on to the individual pursuit finals. So lots coming up, and many, many more medals to be presented. The award ceremony then of the 500-meter women's time trial.
Being presented by member of the management committee of the International Cycling Union, José Manuel Peláez.
Las medallas y las camisetas de ganadores serán entregados por el miembro del Comité de la Unión Ciclista Internacional, José Manuel Peláez.
Winner of the bronze medal representing Russia.
La ganadora de la medalla de bronce representa a Rusia.
Anastasia Voinova.
The bronze medal goes to the young Russian rider Anastasia Voinova, a time of 33.789. Average speed of over 53 kilometers an hour. She's the rider I think everyone should start to worry about. She is getting better and better all the time. Silver medal then for the Australian Anna Mears. Four times the world champion, world record holder, silver medalist this time. Her time 33.548. Well, a popular winner here in this velodrome. The rainbow bands of the 500-meter time trial being pulled on by Miriame Welte. 2 gold medals in 2 nights of racing. Her time tonight, 33.451. Her average speed notching up close to 54 kilometers an hour. She is now the world champion.
World Track Championships, Cali 2014. Hernando Zuluaga.
Las flores serán presentadas por el director ejecutivo del comité organizador del Campeonato Mundial de Ciclismo Pista Cali 2014, licenciado Hernando Zuluaga.
So the riders being presented with the flowers, and then we will hear the national anthem of Germany.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Germany.
And now the national anthem of Germany. So the question is, how many more medals is she going to win before the end of this week of competition? There's your podium. Anastasia Voinova, Anna Mears and Miriame Welte, the world champion. Don't go away, because we're going to move on and bring you in a few moments the men's Keirin. We're into the second round. 2 rounds of racing, 6 riders in each. And if the qualifying is anything to go by, we're going to see some pretty thrilling sprinting. All smiles from the German. Thanks to all of you for your messages on Twitter at Macrosson. It's nice to hear from you as you watch this coverage of the racing. So we're going to move on now to the Keirin. We've got 2 rounds, 6 riders in each. Of course, the first 3 riders will qualify for the final, and the other riders will go through to ride off 7th to 12th places. Lots of countries represented. We have had the qualification earlier on today. Riders also having to fight through what we call the repechage, which gives riders who were eliminated in the first runoff of races the chance to come back through the repechage round to fight their way into the second round. So we've got the lineup of the first event, and I think this is some heat when you look through the riders that are going to take part in it, because let's run through them. You have got, of course, Shane Perkins of Australia, the 2011 world champion. Francois Pervis of France, the world record holder at the 1 kilometre with a blistering 56.303 seconds. Also in here, a team sprint silver medalist from the Commonwealth Games, Matt Crampton of Great Britain. The current world champion of the Keirin, Jason Kenny of Great Britain. The 2009 world champion, Maximilian Levy of Germany. And the Greek rider, Christos Volikakis. This is some heat to try and get yourself through to a final from. It's a stronger heat, I would say, than the next one coming up. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. So you've really got to get everything right here. In the qualifying, we had one really big crash of a Japanese rider who almost took Jason Kenny out, and somehow Kenny got round him and raced through to take the place in the second round very easily in the end. So whatever country you're from, if you are one of these, an Australian, a French, a British or German or Greek fan, then cheer them on. If you're not a fan of any of those countries, then just choose one anyway. Join in, cheer the riders on. Here in Cali, we don't have a dirty bike, we just got a motorbike. He's got to judge it, take it up to 50 k's an hour, peel off with 2.5 laps of racing to go. If you haven't seen Keirin racing before, practiced very much in Japan, has now been translated over to the rest of the countries for everything that happens in Keirin racing here. The rules are slightly different. In Japan, you have Keirin schools. Rebecca James of Great Britain went over there after she won the Keirin last year in Minsk. And there it's lockdown. There's so much betting goes on Keirin racing that you are totally on lockdown for 2 days before a race. Your mobile phone is confiscated and everything, so you cannot influence the betting in any way. Here it's different. A few rules: you can't take your hands off the handlebars. It used to be there was lots of bumping and barging and thumping of each other that went on. Things have been tidied up a little bit. Some would say that's much better for the sport. Others would say that they preferred to see the bumping and barging and all the hassle that went on. But the speeds are so high that really safety is paramount. So let's run through these riders then. On the back of the Derny bike right now is Matt Crampton, the British rider. Behind him is Shane Perkins, the world champion of 2011. Tucked in on the wheel is the German world champion of 2009, Maximilian Levy. Behind him is the world record holder of the 1 kilometre, Francois Pervis, beating a time which was previously held by his compatriot Arnold Tournon of just under a minute. Volokakis is the rider moving up in the blue on the outside for Greece. He's always does this. Now the Durney peels off somehow. I don't know how they do that over here. He just slams the brakes on and gets out of the track. Volokakis likes to go from the front. He's a powerful rider. And it's all about the first 3 riders who go across the line. They will go to the final of the World Championships. Now we see the acceleration, and it is Matt Crampton of Great Britain who hits the front first. He did this in his heat, and then he just tied up before the finish. Going round the outside is Levy. As they go round now, it's Francois Pervis, Jason Kenny having to work really hard. Hitting the line now, Pervis goes through, Maximilian Levy, and I'm not entirely sure whether it was Jason Kenny or whether it was Matt Crampton who got through to the final. We'll have a look. It was pretty close. We'll have a little look now as they race up to the line. It's a photo between Kenny and Crampton. Crampton threw his bike very, very early. And we're being told now that it was Kenny who took it. So here's the replay. It was a dead heat close between Pervis and by Levy. Kenny actually won it by a fair amount there. Crampton threw his bike a little bit too early. Through to the final safely then. Pervis, Maximilian Levy and Jason Kenny. Last year the title went to Kenny. He beat Levy into silver medal. And Matthijs Buchli, who is in the next heat, was in 3rd place. There's confirmation then of the top 3 riders going through. The other 3 riders will go through to the 7th to 12th place ride-off. And we'll turn our attention in a moment to the 2nd of the heats. The lineup of the 2nd round. The Australian Matthew Glotzer there. Team Sprint World Champion in 2012. Getting ready for action. This is going to be a loud one. And the reason why is because right there in the field is a man who pleased the crowd earlier on today when he won his heat. It is Fabian Puerta of Colombia. Getting a big reception here. Simon van Veldhoven of New Zealand at the top of the track. Alongside them is Aziz Wang. Down at the bottom of the track is Matthew Glotzer of Australia. 6 riders. Joachim Eiler's also in here for Germany. The bronze medalist of last year, the big Dutchman Matthijs Buchli, and the New Zealander who was the bronze medalist in London 2012 is Simon van Veldhoven. New Zealand on a roll now after their medals of last night. Let's see if they can get another one. So our motorbike, we'll call it a Durney purely to keep up with the technical terms of bike racing normally. Wang is probably the most famous rider for the wrong reasons in Keirin racing in Manchester. Ooh, some little problem going on here. And we have heard the gun go twice, which means that this is going to be restarted. Not entirely sure as to why. Just saying the Wang, the Malaysian rider, had a bad crash in the Manchester Velodrome a couple of years ago and was speared by a splinter that went all the way through his calf muscle. from one side to the other, looked like a kebab. Let's just have a look at what's going on here. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Van Velthoven overtook the Durney. He's not allowed to do that. And Van Velthoven has been disqualified for overtaking the motorbike. You are not allowed to do that. Bitter disappointment for the New Zealander. His front wheel just overlapping the Durney bike. You are not allowed to be ahead of the Durney until 2.5 laps to go. That's the end of the Keirin for Van Velthoven. And if you can lip read, you'll know what he thought of that. Shakes his head. Well, so much was promised by the New Zealanders, and Van Velthoven has now got to walk back to the pits. He was looking good, to be honest. Van Velthoven will not now contend. It will be 5 riders on the track. New Zealand now with an increased programme for track racing. Great to hear what they're doing down there in New Zealand. They're about to move into a new multi-million-pound velodrome, multi-million-dollar, velodrome, in a little place called Cambridge, just about an hour or so, I think that I'm right in saying, from Auckland. And now they're going to have all the programme all in one place. Not happy, is he? He overlapped it by, I think, about 3 inches. Let's have a little look. Here we go. He went up the outside. And, yep, he overlapped the Durney bike. That is not allowed in Keirin racing at all. So they're about to move into this new velodrome. Everything will be centralised. They've already won their medals last night with the thrilling team sprint. And so I think we're going to see New Zealand even accelerate their performances. So 5 riders left on the track now. 3 riders will go through. Matthew Glaetzer of Australia. Fabian Puerta of Colombia. Comes from not too far from here, a place called Medellin. Ooh, and the Colombian rider almost crashed on the start. This is an eventful Keirin. Joachim Eilers from Germany, sitting 3 from the front now. Aziz Awang goes to the back for Malaysia. Matthijs Buchli there for the Netherlands. And Fabian Puerta, 21 years of age. He is getting married to Juliana Gaviria that we saw competing a little while earlier for Colombia. Matthew Glaetzer then on the Durney bike, right on the back of the wheel. He'll try and concentrate and not overtake the bike. Not like Simon Van Velthoven do. There'll be a little bit of nerves in here, but with 5 riders on the track, it's easier to qualify. Are we going to see a Colombian rider in the final of the Keirin here in the World Championships? He's been a medalist in national championships in the Keirin many times. Medalist in the Pan Am Games. In his heat, he looked very, very good indeed. 5 laps to go. And it's the Australian rider, Matt Glazer, sitting on the wheel, getting ready to strike when he can. 2.5 laps to go is the moment when the bike peels off. Four laps to go. The rules of Keirin racing are a little bit intricate, but you get used to them after a while if you're liking this sort of racing. These riders compete in World Cups across the world. 3 rounds of those, normally in the winter time. Then we get to the World Championships, but Keirin racing is thrilling. Here we go now. The Durney bike will peel off with 2.5 to go. Then everything will start to happen. Up the outside goes a Wang. He likes to go from the front. Shuts the door on the Australian rider Matthew Glaetzer. And a Wang now holding these. Oh, look at this. They're all bumping and barging. It was the Dutch rider, Matthijs Buchli, the Australian rider, Gleitzer, is getting pushed all over the place. Oh, a huge crash. A massive crash. And the Australian rider Matthew Gleitzer's bike has ended up in front of us here in the control booth. I hope he's okay. The German rider hits the line first, Joachim Eilers, but that really was a terrible, terrible crash. Well, Matthew Gleitzer was thrown all over the place. Well, he's sitting up, thankfully. Here it is, look at this. The Dutch rider gives him a knock and he goes straight over. The bike ends up bouncing and ends up nearly in our commentary box. Thankfully, he's okay. Sliding, he won't be able to sit down for about a week, but oh, what a crash. Thankfully, he landed on his backside, because that would have been a terrible otherwise. Look at that. Look where the bike ends up. It almost hits someone I know very well, Ali Giles, who calls all the music and everything. She will be absolutely shaken too. Thankfully, Matthew Gleitzer, how did he not break anything? I just do not know. Well, the result is that Eilers took it. The Colombian rider will go through. Wang takes the bronze at the third place. There's confirmation of that on the screen. And out of sight of the cameras as we see the replay, Joachim Eilers wins it. The Colombian Fabian Puerta goes through. Wang does. I don't know what the decisions of the judges are going to be, because there was so much bumping and barging in that Keirin, and you're not allowed to do that anymore. Well, he's lost a fair amount of skin. Confirmation then that Eilers, Puerta and Wang will go through to the final. We've seen two bad crashes I've seen today, and that's the worst one. So not long now until we move on to the next round of racing, which will be coming up shortly, the men's individual pursuits. But of course, earlier on we had the men's scratch race, and we are going to be bringing you the award ceremony of that in just a few moments' time. And the winner of that, of course, was Kovalev, taking a lap, and Kovalev will get the rainbow bands, the gold medal, in just a few moments as the Australian Matthew Gleitzer walks away. So before the award ceremony, let's hear from the new world champion in the scratch race, Kovalev of Russia.
Ivan, congratulations. How do you feel?
Thank you. I'm very lucky today and very happy this win. It's my day. I think all or nothing today, and I won.
You gave everything. It was a difficult race. You were very tight with the Irish and the guy from Hong Kong.
I know this race. It's very nervous, and I know one point I need fresh head, and if I lucky, I won.
This is not your first medal in the World Championship, but this is your first title. How does it feel?
I'm very happy because it's first World Championship. I have silver medal, but first place it's first.
Thank you very much.
Well, the quietly spoken Kovalev of Russia. He's already had a silver medal. Now he gets his first world title. Very well deserved. Matthew Gleitzer shakes his head. When he replays the film of what happened there, here it is again. Look at this. Just the bike went bouncing. Look where it ends up. It hangs on the barriers. Luckily, we've got the crash barriers around the top here. The handlebars hooking on those barriers, that's what they're really designed for, so, to make sure the bike doesn't get over. The saddle and everything else went all over the place, little bits of bike going everywhere, and I think he's very lucky to be sliding along like that. So we're just hearing then that a Wang has been disqualified. The Malaysian rider has been disqualified in the Keirin, which means that Matthijs Buchli will go through to the next round. A Wang has been disqualified for moving out of his line with the intention to move his opponent. That's what caused the crash. So in the final, we are going to see Eilers, Puerta and Buchli go through.
President of the International Cycling Union.
So we turn our attention then to the award ceremony of the scratch race. Just tidying up for you there as to exactly what has gone on.
Winner of the bronze medal representing Hong Kong, China.
El ganador de la medalla de bronce representa a Hong Kong, China.
King Lok Chung. Winner of the silver medal representing Ireland.
El ganador de la medalla de plata.
So the bronze medal with a very happy Chung King Lok. Being presented, Martin Irvine of Ireland, the gold medalist last year, takes the silver medal this time.
Representing Russia.
And the gold medal, he's smiling away. He's extremely happy to get his first world title.
Ivan Kovalev.
Ivan Kovalev then is the rider who pulls on the rainbow bands. Chung King Lok being presented by the award ceremony with the flowers. Here we go, Martin Irvine also. And then we will hear the Russian national anthem for Ivan Kovalev. Pulls on the rainbow bands. And now he will just savor the moment.
El himno nacional de Rusia.
The new world champion of the scratch race, Ivan Kovalev of Russia. Just to keep you updated then, what's coming up next? We're going to see the men's individual pursuit, and then we'll move on to the Keirin finals. More thrilling racing to come. I think that crash of Matthew Glaetzer is going to get replayed over and over again. How high can a bike bounce here on the track? Just in front of me, in the control of where all the giant screens are done in this arena, are the team who constantly do that. They're very close to the track in this event. Sometimes they're a little bit further back, but they're all looking a little bit dazed by the fact that they almost encountered Matthew Glaetzer's carbon fibre bike. Here it is again. Let's have a look. A Wang moves off the line. He comes right up. That causes the problem with the Dutch guy, and Glaetzer has nowhere to go. He just has to deck it. So a Wang is known as a sprinter in this style of racing who likes the bumping and barging. As I mentioned earlier on in the Keirin, he is a rider known most famously for ending up with a massive spike off the track. A big splinter went all the way through his leg from one side to the other after a crash in Manchester. He was pretty much skewered. And as we look across the track, which is getting a little bit repaired now, here's confirmation finally of the rundown of the final. So it will be Fabian Puerta of Colombia, Pervis of France, Kenny of Great Britain, Eilers and Levy of Germany, and Matthijs Buchli of the Netherlands. That is confirmation of the 6 riders. Next on the agenda for us tonight then is going to be the men's individual pursuit, and we are going to show you the ride-off for the bronze medal first between the New Zealander Mark Ryan and the Irish rider Ryan Mullen, and in the gold medal ride-off Alexander Edmondson and the Swiss rider Stefan Kuhn. In the centre of the track then, Matthijs Buchli is just trying to keep those legs turning over, getting ready for his Keirin race later on. Individual pursuit racing. 4,000 metres on the track, 16 laps, and you basically race your opponents. That's what it's all about. These are the 2 riders who are going to be racing for the bronze medal. This is Mark Ryan. They call him Dream, his nickname. He's getting ready. And on this side of the track is the young Irishman. He is 19 years of age, a real emerging talent. Rides now for the Anpost team, Anpost Chain Reaction, but that team is owned by Sean Kelly, the legend of Irish cycling. So Ryan Mullen in the right hands to be guided in his professional career. He's just actually finished racing in Étoile de Bessèges, so he'll have plenty of stamina and road speed. His qualification time was 4:22.419. Being held up there by a man who's seen many, many world championships, the Scotsman Sandy Gilchrist, very well-known mechanic. Ryan Mullen getting ready for the ride of his life. He is such a young talent. He's up against a New Zealander now, Mark Ryan, the 31-year-old, bronze medalist in the team pursuit in both London 2012 and in Beijing. Last night he won a bronze medal in the team pursuit in the World Championships here in Cali. So, who's going to get it? Ryan finished in 4:21. Mark Ryan, that is, not Ryan Mullen. Mark Ryan finished 4:21.865. Ryan Mullen finished 4:22.419. But that was in qualification. This is now about a race. You ride against your man. So you have got to think about your schedule. You've got to line yourself up and you've got to go for the bronze medal now. Ryan Mullen into his aerodynamic tuck as he goes racing around the track. We'll get an idea of the qualification, the times of the various 1,000 meters. Ryan Mullen into a very aerodynamic tuck. He's got his hands almost on his nose, almost on the handlebars. The rules have slightly changed in terms of the way you could set a bike up, and Ryan Mullen is using that to absolute total effect. But Mark Ryan is the faster rider on the track right now. The New Zealander is trying to ride down Ryan Mullen, and of course if he catches his man, then it is all over. Sitting right next to me actually in the commentary box, working for one of the other channels, is Chris Boardman, who of course is a rider who has won the Olympic Games in this discipline, analysing the performances here of Ryan Mullen and Mark Ryan. Ryan goes through for New Zealand in 1:08.693, fastest compared to the Irish rider. This young Irishman was 7th in the under-23 World Time Trial Championships. He may well have decided to ride a slower opening couple of kilometres and then try and come back. He is 1.024 down on the older rider, the more experienced New Zealander. You can see there though, he's right in the tuck. He's got his nose right down on his hands, which means that he is looking pretty aerodynamic. He is coming back 0.794 compared to Mark Ryan, the New Zealander, trying to turn the heat up a little bit as he tries to get this bronze medal. Another one to go with the bronze medal he won last night on the track. Ryan Mullen riding his competitor down, now at 0.662 as they go through 2,000 metres. Mark Ryan is still the quickest rider on the track, but Ryan Mullen is coming back at him. This young Irishman looking to put Ireland in with a World Championship bronze medal, and he's coming back 0.398. He is now getting on top of the gear, and he's looking like he's cruising. His An Post Sean Kelly team will be absolutely urging him on. I'm sure the Irish eyes will be smiling across the globe right now as he rides down Mark Ryan. 0.232, still the New Zealander holding on, looking very, very good, but to me looking under a little bit of pressure now. But now for the first time, Ryan Mullen's face starts to put an etch of pain on as the time is down to 0.157. Mark Ryan, the more experienced rider, has he got something left in the tank as they head towards the 3,000 metre point? Ryan Mullen wandering a little bit on the track. Had a bit of a crash last week in the time trial of Etoile de Bessèges. He actually crashed off the start ramp. He didn't even get going. He just toppled straight off the start. It's on YouTube and you can watch it. He's gone through 3,000 metres. Mark Ryan's still ahead just a little bit, but he is now going quicker. Oh, it's neck and neck. 0.085 as the young Irishman now puts the New Zealander under pressure. He's digging really deep. The New Zealander holding on. It's going to go right the way down to the wire. They're in the final 1,000 metres. Who's going to cross the line this time? Now Mark Ryan comes back. .377. He's putting the young Irishman under some pressure. He's found a little bit of speed from somewhere. He's lifting those knees. He's kicking on a little bit as Ryan Mullen desperately tries to come back at the New Zealander. It looks like the New Zealand has found a little bit of speed, and he has. He's gone .910 up. The bronze medal looked like it might be going to Ireland. Now it looks like it's going to go to New Zealand as Mark Ryan, the 31-year-old, turns the heat up on the young rider. The experience has told he hits the line now. He takes the bronze medal by 1.7 seconds. He really cruised over that last 1,000 metres. Finishes in 4:22.895. That was very, very good from Mark Ryan. He was through that 3,000 metre point. It looked like it was all going wrong for him. But then he just turned the heat up and he came back. New Zealand win yet another medal in these World Championships. They are having a great time of it. Well, that was an impressive performance. That shows you how to ride an individual pursuit. Let his opponent come back. He got his confidence, and then suddenly, bang, the gas went in, and that was it. Now everyone, it's time for the gold medal ride-off. Here on this side of the track is Alex Edmondson of Australia. I know from your messages there are lots of Australians around the world watching. And Alex Edmondson is going head-to-head with the Swiss rider Stefan Kung, the bronze medalist in 2013 in this discipline. Alex Edmondson's sister will be in the centre of the track, also riding for Australia, urging him on to try and take this gold medal. Here we are then, 16 laps of the track, 4,000 metres. Alex Edmondson gets underway for Australia, using the double disc wheels on the bike this time. His fastest individual pursuit is 4:20.5. So he needs to produce something close to that to take the gold medal. He was the fastest qualifier in 4:21.003. He was a gold medalist in the team pursuit in Minsk. And if you look back in the history books, it is 3 wins on the row for Australia, with Michael Hepburn and Jack Bowbridge winning the last few titles in this individual pursuit. So the 20-year-old Alex Edmondson now going for gold for Australia. Stefan Kung, though, is a very good individual pursuiter, riding for Switzerland, the bronze medalist, qualified in 4:21.203, just 0.2 of a second outside the time of the Australian rider. So we'll look to see what sort of time they go through the 1,000-metre point. Edmondson goes through in a very fast 1:7.445. The world record held by Jack Bowbridge of Australia, set it in Sydney on the 2nd of February 2011, a time of 4:10.534. No one will really get close to that, I don't think. It's unlikely on a track like this. In fact, many people will say that Jack Bowbridge's time won't be beaten for a long, long time. 1:39.037, still gold medal position for Alex Edmondson of Australia in his 3rd World Championships. Is it going to be gold for him? looking across the track. He just took a little glimpse there of Stefan Kung, who is now 1.794 seconds down. Remember, in an individual pursuit, if you catch the rider on the other side of the track, it's all over. And that's what Edmondson looks to me like he's trying to do. He wants to ride Stefan Kung down. He wants to beat him, and he wants to beat him before the finish. 1.756 is now the gap between these two riders as Edmondson continues with this big trial. I love the fact that here in Cali in Spanish this event is called the persecution. It's so painful, but here we go now. Almost 2 seconds is the advantage for Edmondson as he hunts down the Swiss rider. He can almost see him in front of him. They are one straight difference between them now on the track. Has Edmondson gone too early? At 2.160 seconds is the advantage for Stefan Kung now, for the young Australian rider who is heading here to try and take Australia's next gold medal, to add to the silver won by Anna Mears earlier on today. Edmondson's gone through the 2,000 metre point in 2:11.014, and he is absolutely motoring, mouth wide open, as he heads up to 3,000 metres in 3:15.474. He is 2.4 seconds ahead of Stefan Kung. He's rocking and rolling a little bit. Let's hope he hasn't gone out too early, and he ties up in the last 1,000. It doesn't look like he will, but the head's starting to rock a little bit, and Stefan Kung is coming back a teeny little bit. 2.319 seconds is the advantage for this Australian youngster going for gold as he races around the final few laps of this velodrome. If you're Australian, you will be urging him on now. 2.030, he is slowing up a little bit. Stefan Kung is coming back at him. Has he got anything left in the tank to extend his advantage, or is Kung really going to drive on? 1,000 metres now, 250 metres to go. Alex Edmondson 4.05. Kung is now only 1.333 down, and Edmondson's really going to have to dig deep. He is in a wall of pain. He can feel every single bit of lactic acid which is bubbling up towards his eyeballs. Heading now towards the finish. Hits the line now. Edmondson just takes it. That's incredible. 4:22.582. He is the world champion, but he only beat him by 0.41 of a second at the finish line. That was so close. Edmondson went out and tried to ride his opponent down. He got almost 3 seconds ahead, and then suddenly the Swiss rider started to turn the heat up, and at the finish it was only 0.41 of a second on the line. But it doesn't matter whether it's 1 second, 2 seconds or 0.4, he's still the world champion. Alexander Edmondson, the 20-year-old from Australia, is going to stand on the top step of the podium, and it continues the winning streak of Australia in the individual pursuit, and it joins the great names of Hepburn and Bowbridge as he joins the rank of Australians who have taken the title. Big grimace on the face of Alexander Edmondson as he gets off the bike. Now he's going to just try and recover. That was a massive effort on that last 500 metres, because he suddenly realised that the Swiss rider was coming back. Stefan Kung closed an advantage at 3,000 metres, which was 2.4 seconds to 0.4 at the finish. When he looks back on that, he probably won't believe just how close it was. So we've seen the flying bikes in the Keirin. Let's hope we don't get that again. We're moving on now to the men's Keirin finals. The first event will be the ride-off for normally 7th to 12th places, but this time it will be 7th to 10th. We only have we've had two riders who are not taking part, but actually also I don't think Gleitzer will take to the track, so we'll end up with 7th, 8th and 9th place decided, which is probably the smallest Keirin I've seen in a long time. Perkins of Australia against Crampton of Great Britain and Volikakis of Greece. And then we will have the final to decide the world title. Matthijs Buchli just circling in the centre of the track. So a nice shot across the centre of this Cali velodrome. This arena holds about 7,000 people. Cali, if you don't know already, we've mentioned it a couple of times, is the home of salsa. Shane Perkins is going to take the start for Australia. The world champion in 2011. Volikakis there in all blue from Greece, and Matt Crampton of Great Britain. Crampton, I think, will be a little disappointed not to be in the final. And just to tidy up everything, Van Velthoven was disqualified for overtaking the Derny pacer, the New Zealander. Awang was disqualified for causing the crash of his opponent. And also Matthijs Buchli has been warned for moving outward with the intention of forcing his opponent up the track. But Buchli is in the final. This decides then 7th, 8th and 9th place in the World Keirin Championships. Derny pacer bike going round the track. And the riders will get underway. Same rules apply. 8 laps of the track. The bike peels off with 2.5 laps to go. And then it's all about the sprint for the finish. Shane Perkins, the 2011 world champion, on the wheel of the Derny bike there, wearing number 104. Matt Crampton, a Commonwealth Games team sprint silver medalist. The Commonwealth Games, of course, taking place in Glasgow this summer. And the cycling events will be in the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome. We've heard from Sir Chris Hoy earlier on today. Great facility. He's had a lot of input as to how that track has been built. And since it opened, the number of youngsters and fans riding on that track has been incredible. The track is absolutely packed. Volikakis in the blue at the back for Greece. Shane Perkins right on the wheel for Australia. Bit of a shame we're not going to see any Australian in that final of this Keirin. But we hope Matthew Gleixer recovers from those burns, those track burns that you get, which are very, very painful. There'll be a few splinters in those legs and backside as well. That's not very nice. Heading up to now the bike peeling off. There it goes. It peels in. And now it's down to Shane Perkins, Matthew Crampton and Volikakis to sprint it out for 7th, 8th and 9th place. Perkins just hanging off the front here. Crampton trying to manoeuvre Volikakis into 2nd place. He wants a wheel to come off if he possibly can. But Perkins now is going to start the sprint. The acceleration happens. There's a little bit of the wheels sliding around a little bit. Now Perkins is going to accelerate. He won't want to finish any lower than 7th place overall. Crampton's trying to go around the outside. Volikakis has absolutely nowhere to go, and they hit the line there. And I think Crampton took it. Perkins was 2nd, and Volikakis was in 3rd place. So 7th place will be Crampton, 8th place will be Perkins, and Volikakis will be in 9th. Volikakis having a little bit of a shout there at Crampton, I think. Right on the line then, Crampton takes it by nearly half a wheel. Volikakis never really in the hunt to get 7th place. Just been reminded that Sid Patson, Steele Bishop and Brad McGee are also past Australian pursuit champions. Brad McGee, of course, turned his attention to being a very, very good road professional, then a director sportif as well. Here's the rundown then for the Keirin final. This is the start list of the riders. And I think the Colombian riders are going to Colombian fans are going to enjoy this, because they're going to urge this man on, Fabian Hernando Puerta from Medellin, near here. He's not far from Cali as a resident, getting married to Gaviria. And the crowd are getting ready to give him a massive cheer when he gets on the track. It's some lineup though, isn't it? Joachim Ahlers of Germany. He's the rider wearing number 193 if you're just trying to pick him out. Colombian rider Puerta has got the entire velodrome behind him. There is the world record holder at the kilometre, Francois Pervis. Eight laps of the track. The Derny peels off with 2.5 laps to go. These big sprinters are all getting ready now to try and bring home the world title. Levy's won it before for Germany. He wears number 197. Jason Kenny is the defending champion. If you're trying to sort out which of the two Germans, just to give you a little bit of a hint, the German with the luminous socks is Joachim Eilers. That's the way you can pick them out. Francois Pervis of France looking around. 56.303 for a kilometre. There is Puerta. Behind them, Jason Kenny. There is number 197, the world champion in 2009, Maximilian Levy. Levy also rides the multicoloured bike. If they're trying to just distinguish between the two German riders, Jason Kenny in this final, is he going to win back-to-back world titles? Last year, the medals were like this. It was Kenny of Great Britain, Maximilian Levy of Germany. Matthijs Buchli has a warning against him in this Keirin for that last round where Glaetzer crashed. Buchli looking around, he's somehow got himself through to this final. Pervis will want to ride from the front, he's got that kilometre speed. I think it's pretty close. Pervis almost overtaken the Derny bike with 4 laps of racing to go. Normally on these Derny bikes you don't have that mud guard, it doesn't look like a motorbike, you can pretty much touch the back of the bike, but here you can't, so causing a few little issues for these riders. So it's Pervis, followed by Buchli, followed by Puerta. Here comes Maximilian Levy round the outside, trying to block out Jason Kenny, who quite often gets himself into a box and never comes out. Right, here we go now. Levy hits the front. This is going to be a thrilling finish. Buchli in second place. Following them is Pervis. Jason Kenny bouncing off the Colombian, looking for a little gap if he can find it. Here's Francois Pervis, who, as expected, hits the front first. 1 lap to go. Pervis looking around. Has he got the speed to take the world title? Oh, big crash. Levy hits the ground. Kenny is the rider who hits him. Pervis going. Puerta's going to try and take the world title. Pervis is going. Puerta almost takes it. It is Pervis who takes it. Francois Pervis of France is the world Keirin champion. He's won, he's taken the world record already in the kilometre. What a winter he's having. But Puerta of Colombia has taken a silver medal as well. And the Colombian fans are going absolutely nuts in this arena. But Francois Pervis absolutely smashed it. Well, I think it's going to be interesting as to whether the judges say anything about that sprint. We'll get a replay because Kenny was bumped all over the place by the German. Look at this crash. Levy goes all over the place. Kenny is left with nowhere to go. He was leaning, both him and Levy were leaning. They were the medalists of last year, the gold and silver. And they were just bumping and barging. How did Kenny hold his bike up? I don't know. Levy was unable to. Buchli came through. Round the outside at the top comes the other German. But oh, the battle scars of Maximilian Levy. That looks very, very sore. He says he's okay. But meanwhile, Pervis, behind him there is carnage. He was just trying to use his kilometre speed to make sure that he got the final. He took the win, he took the gold medal, he hits the line, he's finally got the Keirin world title he's been looking for. But the Colombian takes the silver. And the Colombian is right in the crowd, just in front of me. Everyone is pushing forward to try and see him. It was really close as well, one wheel between them. Well, all day he has promised the chance of taking a medal, and now he's delivered. He will be the most famous man in Colombia by the end of tonight. I expected that was what was going to happen. Pervis was going to try and lead from the front. That's exactly what he did. And no one was able to come round him. All the smiles from the Frenchman. He won the world title as a kilometre rider. He then broke the world kilometre record, and now he has taken the Keirin. He's been waiting a long, long time to take that. Confirmation then of the result of another bumping and barging Keirin. Pervis wins. Puerta of Colombia takes second. Buchli takes third, and there's the rundown of the six. So just to update you on what's coming up next, we will have the individual pursuit award ceremony. Before that, we're going to hear, I think, from the Australian winner of the individual pursuit. And following the ceremony, we will have the team pursuit finals for women. Don't go away, because that's going to be an exciting one. In the meantime, let's hear from the new world champion of the individual pursuit, Alexander Edmondson.
Alex, congratulations. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm pretty speechless. I think this has just been the craziest last 24 hours, especially with the team pursuit last night with the boys, and then to come out here and to win another world title. And yeah, I don't know. I just got no words.
Was it a difficult race, actually?
Yeah, of course. I think I knew it was going to be a hard race. He's very strong and he always can back up. So I knew coming into this I had to give it all. And it's about with this outdoor track. It all comes down to the last kilometre, and I didn't have very much left there. I could see him out of my corner of eye. I tried not to look at him, but I couldn't help it. And he was coming at me so fast. But to be able to come across the line and to win is just unbelievable.
Australia is doing very well these 2 days.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to see what we can do, but I think at the end of the day, hard work pays off, and we've been working bloody hard the last couple of months for this, and we've had a pretty awesome lead-in. We've dedicated 100%, and I know for me, I've done 100%, done the best I could do every training session, whether it was early morning or rain. I went out there with that one goal and one dream, to be world champion, and to come away with 2 rainbows is awesome.
And a great crowd indeed.
Yeah, I think as you can hear, the crowd in here is just absolutely electric. It's an amazing place. They're all so friendly, and I've really enjoyed being here in Cali.
Thank you very much.
Lovely interview there from Alex Edmondson. Meanwhile, Maximilian Levy with the scars of the Keirin, the hopes of him trying to take the medal again, and he's lost an awful lot of skin off that right shoulder. These guys, they hit the deck so hard when they do, and somehow they just stand up and tidy themselves up and get on with it. That was a really hefty crash. Right, in the meantime, we're going to turn our attention here to the award ceremony of the men's individual pursuit.
The medal and UCI World Champions jersey will be presented by a member of the management committee of the International Cycling Union, Peter Peterson.
Las medallas y las camisetas de los ganadores serán entregados por el miembro del comité de la Unión Ciclista Internacional, Mr. Peter Peterson.
Winners of the bronze medal representing New Zealand.
El ganador de la medalla de bronce representa a Nueva Zelanda.
So the home of the bronze medal in the individual pursuit is New Zealand, as it's presented now to Mark Ryan. Really well-controlled, consistent performance through that individual pursuit to ensure that he came through at the end to stand on the podium.
El ganador de la medalla de plata representa a Suiza.
Stefan Kuhn.
The silver medal goes to the Swiss rider Stefan Kuhn.
World Championship Men's individual pursuit gold medalist and winner of the UCI World Champions jersey, representing Australia.
El ganador de la medalla de oro en la prueba hombres persecución individual del Campeonato Mundial de Ciclismo de Pista, UCI, y ganador de la camiseta de campeón de la UCI, representa
Well, a very proud moment now for this young Australian rider, as Alexander Edmondson pulls on the rainbow bands as the world champion in the individual pursuit.
Flowers will be presented by the manager of Intervalle, Giovanni Ramirez.
Las flores serán presentadas por el gerente de Intervalle, Dr. Giovanni Ramírez.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and with the flowers presented, we now wait for the national anthem of Australia. The podium then in the individual pursuit, Mark Ryan, Stefan Kung and Alexander Edmondson of Australia. All smiles from Alexander Edmondson. Well, his sister's going to be racing in a minute, going for a bronze medal in the team pursuit. That's coming up next. Don't go away. We're going to bring you a live coverage of the women's team pursuit, the final medal of the night to be awarded. And here is the lineup. It's going to be Australia against Poland for the bronze, and then Great Britain against Canada for the gold medal. Leading the team out, ready for this bronze medal ride-off for the Australians. Great squad of riders here. So can they beat the Polish team? Maybe the surprise team in this ride-off for the bronze. Some of us were expecting the Americans to be in here. But it's the Polish who will line up against the Australians now. This Polish team in qualification did look very, very well drilled. They were pretty impressive.
Let's go!
Last little bit of encouragement between the team. They seem so relaxed, this squad. They've got a great morale between them. So the lineup is Annette Edmondson, wearing number 2, her 3rd World Championships. 5 medals so far in World Championships, 3 silvers, 2 bronze medals. This is the Polish team on the other side of the track, made up of Katarzyna Pawlowska, twice the world scratch champion, Małgorzata Wojtyła, twice a silver medalist in the European team pursuit. The rest of the squad, Eugenia Bujak and Edyta Jadzinski. 4,000 metres now, the first time we've seen the World Championships contended by 4 women rather than 3. And it used to be 3 women, 3,000 metres. Now it's 4 women and 4,000 metres, exactly the same as the men.
On the back straight, representing Poland, Katarzyna Pawlowska,
The last final of the night then. 4 medals presented so far. Now it's about who takes the bronze in this ride and then the gold in the next final. Very difficult actually on this track as far as team pursuit is concerned. Flags actually quite calm now, so the wind has dropped, and here we go. Oops, full start. I don't know what happened there. We'll have a look at the replay. But the teams are now recalled. Let's have a look. Oh, it looks like the Australians might have gone too early. You'll notice that the formation that these teams line up in is a little bit different. The Australians choosing all to start alongside the rider in the starting gate. Look at the way the Polish team line up. They've kind of set themselves up staggered like a little echelon, we call it in racing, and it means they automatically slot into line. The Australians deciding to be right alongside the rider in the starting gate. What works for one country doesn't necessarily work for another one. Well, thanks very much for joining me tonight here in Cali for these World Championships. At Macrossan is where you can send me any of your messages. I'll try and answer them. But the Polish team in the red and white getting ready. The Australians, the team, Annette Edmondson, Amy Cure, Melissa Hoskins, who's just back from riding the Tour of Qatar, and Isabella King getting ready for action. Here we go. Counting down then to the start of this team pursuit. So earlier on in qualification, the wind was pretty hefty down the back straight. The flags were fluttering really strongly, but now it's quite calm. So we shouldn't have the same trials and tribulations we had in qualification. Right, we're safely away this time. It is Australia, led here by Annette Edmondson in her 3rd World Championships. She's going to lead off, get the team up to speed, get into those aero skis, and Poland have already changed. Meanwhile, the Australians still have on the front doing a big turn. Annette Edmondson will give you an update at 1,000 metres. This is for the bronze medal. Isabella King in this team, amazingly in her 4th year of her 8-year medicine degree. Amy Cure goes to the front. Love the fact that she lives in a little place, or comes from a little place called Penguin. On the front now as they power their way round, close to the end of the 1,000 metres. And it is now hitting the front. Isabella King trying to keep the tempo up for the Australian squad. We'll see how they're doing against the Polish team. And they go through, and they are way ahead by almost 2 seconds already. This Polish squad have gone out very, very steady. And at 1,000 metres, Australia 1:09.091. The Polish team in qualification still looked very, very good. They were well drilled. They only lost the rider just before the finish. But Australia are visibly quicker on this track. And they are already, with 1,500 metres coming up, they are heading up towards the back wheels of these Polish riders. They can almost see them in the same straight. So let's hope they haven't gone off too quick. I don't think they have. They're extremely well trained. You can see there on the other side of the track the Australian team pouring down now on the Polish squad. And as we approach the 2,000 metre point, this gap has gone up to nearly 3 seconds. And of course, the race is over as soon as they catch them. And right now, they are looking like it's possibly going to happen. The temperature here in this velodrome has dropped right back. Normally in a velodrome in a team pursuit, you see somewhere notching up to 28 degrees. And actually, the temperature in an indoor velodrome is controlled to make sure that the temperature is around about that, so we get fast times. Here in Cali, the temperature, I would say, right now is about 20 degrees centigrade. It's not that warm. Australia looking good through the 2,000 metres at 2:14.371. They are going to catch the Polish team before the finish line. They're going to take the bronze medal. They can now see them in front of them, and they are just riding them down. Annette Edmondson, Amy Cure, Melissa Hoskins and Bella King looking like they are going to be on the podium tonight, heading towards the 3,000 metre point. And they are going to catch the Polish team, who look a little bit more ragged. Not long now until the catch is going to be made, and then it's going to be all over. It's going to be bronze medal to Australia at the 3,000 metre point. It's all over. The Australians punch the air. They are now the bronze medalists in the World Championships. Annette Edmondson, Amy Cure, Melissa Hoskins, Isabella King, job done, game over. And another medal to the Australians tonight. This is the moment the catch was made. Absolutely motoring. We turn our attention to the last final of the night, and this is the ride for the gold medal. Great Britain against Canada. Canada here with the team of Laura Brown, Jasmine Glazer, Alison Beveridge and Stephanie Rauder. So the British squad slightly changed from the World Championship last year. Being led off by Joanna Rousel, the Olympic and World Team Pursuit champion. But of course, this is the first time we've seen a world title contended by 4 women. The Canadian team are getting better and better all the time. Here we go then, they are underway, and Jo Rousel is the rider who's going to lead off for Great Britain. She normally does 1 3/4 lap turns to get the team up to speed. I was talking to her earlier on today, and she said it's so hard on this velodrome. She said because everything we do in team pursuiting is down to a tenth of a second. We train so hard to a tenth of a second in a sterile atmosphere. In Manchester, we know exactly what the temperature is. We know exactly what our turns are. We know our formations. We know when to change. And here, she said earlier, I'm in a headwind going down the back straight, and it's like riding a team time trial on the road. So difficult to gauge. She also said the compression in the bends means that it's so hard to keep your line, and therefore, if there's a slight wind, you've got the compressions in the turns you're having to really deal with, and then down the back straight in the qualification, she was in a headwind, and in the tailwind sections you're having to sprint to stay on the wheels of the riders in front. So we'll see how these teams do. Who's going to take the gold medal? Through the opening 1,000 metres, and Canada are quickest. 1:9.374. Great Britain 1:9.769. If Canada took this gold medal, it would be a big, big surprise, but don't discount it. They have been getting faster in the World Cups. They've been looking really well drilled. Made up of Laura Brown, the bronze medalist in 2013, a bronze medalist in London 2012. Jasmine Glazer with the same medals in both those events. The 20-year-old Alison Beveridge and the 27-year-old Stephanie Rauder, and they do look strong. Great Britain made up of Laura Trott, the Olympic and world champion. Katie Archibald is the new member of the team, a world record holder, but the untested rider in a world championship. Eleanor Barker, the world champion of last year in the team pursuit, and Joanna Rousel. But I must admit, in the ride-off for the qualification, even although they're quickest, Great Britain looked a lot more ragged than I've ever seen them. Danny King has had to sit out this final. She's had a little bit of knee injury, having crashed twice during the winter, but she has the experience, and now Canada are really revving this up, and this is a surprise. Through the 2,000 metre point, and it is Canada leading, 2:13.156. Great Britain in 2:14.259, but now Canada lose a rider. Is this the tactic they've decided to adopt? The British team now starting to come back a little bit. 0.999, a very early point for Canada to lose a rider. On the front is Jo Rousel for Great Britain. Leading the Canadians is Laura Brown. 2 bronze medals to her name in Olympic and World Championships. And now they have to get this right. They have to really drive on. At the back of the string, one of the British riders losing the wheel, which is a big surprise. She's having to try and just shut up the gap a little bit, look like Jo Rousel. And on the front there is Katie Archibald, who was only riding grass track racing 2 years ago and is now in a world title fight. And it's still Great Britain are down. 3:17.727 for the Canadians, 3:18.303 for Great Britain. Now they really have to ramp it up. Suddenly Great Britain, for the first time in a team pursuit, are under a bit of pressure, and Canada are looking very, very good. This is looking strong from Canada. Now Great Britain go ahead for the first time. It's very, very close now between these squads, but Great Britain with 4 riders, Canada with 3. Britain now really start to turn the heat up, but they do look a lot more ragged as Laura Trott does a big turn on the front. It's close, very, very close. Who's going to take this one? They are all over the place. The time is taken on the 3rd rider. Who's going to take it? Great Britain are looking really ragged. They've got 1 rider off the back. Great Britain could be losing it. Canada could take this, but Britain hit the line. Somehow they just held on. 4:23, 4:07 to 4:24, 6:96, and for the first time ever in a team pursuit in the last 12 months, Great Britain looked under pressure, looked ragged, but they still brought home the gold, just beating Canada in 4:24, 6:96. Well, they've struggled on this less sterile atmosphere of this Cali velodrome. The coach there, Chris Newton, a former world champion on the track. Canada, what a stunning performance from them. They looked so, so good. And look at that. It was Laura Trott who dropped off as they headed towards the finish. She did a big, big turn. And it was Joe Rousel there, Katie Archibald and Eleanor Barker who finished it off. No, Laura Trott was in there. Eleanor Barker dropping off, but what a finish. Suddenly it looked like, with the gap opening up between them, that it was all going to go wrong. But they are the world champions. .423.407 is one of the slowest world championship or slowest team pursuits this country has done in the last 12 months. But Katie Archibald will be happy. She's a world champion. She's the addition to the squad. And despite it all going a little bit awry on the last lap, it still happened for them. Such is the strength of them. The talk around the velodrome has been, it's Great Britain are so strong that the gold medal should definitely be theirs. But suddenly, for one moment, a fleeting moment, it looked like it wasn't going to happen. Danny King has had to sit in this track today, and I gave her a little look earlier on. She's from my home city, Danny King, and I said, "Are you okay?" And she was like, so-so. She desperately wanted to ride this team pursuit, but she's watched the country still take the gold medal. So we'll have the victory ceremony in a moment, where we see the Keirin Award ceremony. And we'll also see the award ceremony for that team pursuit. What a great Keirin it was. We've had thrills and spills all the way through, from the first qualification this morning right through to the gold medal ride-off. But we're now going to hear from the new world champion of the Keirin from France, Francois Pervis.
Francois, congratulations. This was fantastic performance.
Yes, of course, I'm world champion. It's the first time for me in Keirin. So I'm very, very happy because I tried to be world champion in Keirin since some years, and so I win today. So it's a good performance for me.
C'est la première médaille d'or pour la France.
Oui, c'est la première médaille d'or pour la France et je compte pas m'arrêter là, puisque demain j'ai un titre à défendre au kilomètre et je compte bien aussi gagner le titre au kilomètre et aussi faire une belle médaille en vitesse individuelle.
Ça, ce serait quand même au final un hiver extraordinaire pour vous.
Oui, c'est vrai, j'ai commencé par 2 beaux podiums au championnat d'Europe au mois d'octobre. J'ai enchaîné sur une victoire en Coupe du Monde à Manchester en Keirin. Une belle victoire et forcément mes 2 records du monde, 200 mètres et kilomètres au mois de décembre. Donc là, je finis en beauté. Mes championnats, c'est comme s'ils étaient déjà réussis, mais je compte vraiment pas m'arrêter là.
Merci beaucoup.
Francois Pervis, then the world champion in the Keirin, his first title in that discipline. He's won world titles in the kilometre before. Two victory ceremonies left then. We'll bring you those. Lots of racing to come again tomorrow. I don't think the Colombian fans are going to leave the velodrome until they see their man Fabian Puerta take his medal. This could be the loudest ceremony we've heard so far.
Damas y caballeros, la ceremonia de premiación del Campeonato Mundial de Ciclismo de Pista UCI, prueba Keirin Hombres.
The medals and UCI World Champions jersey will be presented by a member of the Management Committee of the International Cycling Union, Mr. Peter Peterson.
Las medallas y las camisetas de los ganadores serán entregados por el miembro del Comité de la Unión Ciclista Internacional, señor Peter Pervis.
Winner of the bronze medal representing Netherlands.
El ganador de la medalla de bronce representa a Holanda.
Matthijs Buchli.
The bronze medal then goes to the Netherlands, Matthijs Buchli. being presented with his medal.
Winner of the silver medal representing Colombia.
Get ready for this then.
El ganador de la medalla de plata representa a Colombia, Fabian Hernando Puerta.
Fabian Puerta takes the silver medal in a thrilling Keirin final.
World Championship men's Keirin gold medalist and winner of the UCI World Champion jersey representing France.
El ganador de la medalla de oro en la prueba Keirin hombres del Campeonato Mundial de Ciclismo de Pista UCI y ganador del Campeonato Mundial y la camiseta UCI representa a Francia.
Francois Pervis.
And the Frenchman is the world champion, Francois Pervis. Pulls on the rainbow bands. He won the world title in the kilometre last year ahead of Simon van Velthoven and Joachim Eilers. And now he has taken the Keirin. He's having a great couple of seasons. It took him years to win a world title. But now he's there with another one. So we wait now after these flowers are presented for the national anthem of France.
Juan Fernando Mejía.
Well, don't go away because we will have the final award ceremony of the night, but the national anthem of France for Francois Pervis.
El himno nacional de Francia. Un aplauso, por favor, para todos nuestros medallistas.
The podium then of the men's Keirin, Matthijs Buchli, Fabian Puerta and the Frenchman Francois Pervis. As Francois Pervis makes his way across to take his centre stage for his photographs, we will bring you the presentation of the women's team pursuit. Great racing in that discipline over the course of today. Looking out across the track tomorrow night, of course, we'll have more victory ceremonies after all the medals are decided. It's going to be another great night of racing here in this Cali velodrome. There in front of us is the press area where everyone works away, getting all the news onto the websites and photographs being taken all across the world, all the interviews being transcribed and everything. Behind them is the podium. And then, of course, the athletes area behind that, where all the riders get ready for racing and recover as well. So one more victory ceremony to go. This man is now being given the freedom of this local area. He is from Medellin, it's not far away. And earlier on we saw a tough and hard contested women's team pursuit. We'll have the award ceremony in a moment, but let's hear from the team.
Girls, congratulations. How does it feel?
Pretty hard, to be honest. It was a good ride. It came together at the end, so we're happy.
You kept your title, actually. That's something tremendous.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Obviously, the event's changed now from 3K to 4K, so it's nice to come here and win the first 4K event.
You were trailed behind. You were trailing behind the Canadians, and then you recovered. How did you do that?
Well, we just tried to pace it well. So for the first 2 kilometres, we tried to just keep it a bit steady, and then after that, we tried to just bring it home. And our coach was actually walking what they were doing, so we could see that we were down and what we needed to do. So I guess it was help from him and good pace control.
That's the first gold medal from Great Britain. I mean, for the team, which is a quite new team altogether, Team GT. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is fairly new. We've got Katie Archibald, who's our newest member, and she just stepped up so well. And although Danny was our man 5, Danny King, she was just as much a part of this team as anyone else, and she's really been with us, been there with us all season, pushed us on. And I mean, to show her face tonight and cheer us on, I think that just shows like real courage, and we're really proud of her.
Did Chris say something to you?
Yeah, he said good luck and well done. I think I was probably just a bit too focused to hear the rest, but yeah, he said that.
Congratulations, thank you very much.
Laura Trott and Eleanor Barker together there, having a chat about the race, pacing it over 2,000 metres and then coming back over the next bit. It all came together in the end, is the summary. But of course they are the world champions, 4,000 metres, the first ever women's team pursuit world champions over 4,000 metres. Laura Trott and Eleanor Barker, the riders in the Wiggle Honda team, of course. And their teammate Danny King also on that squad, sitting in the middle of the track and urging them on during qualification earlier on today. And I think that acknowledgement of Eleanor Barker for Danny King is absolutely right. As much a member of the team as the riders are out there on the track, giving them moral support, urging them on and making sure that they came through with the gold. So the victory ceremony in just a moment. We'll bring you that, and then we'll point forward to tomorrow to the races that we're going to see here on this Cali track. Five medals decided during tonight's racing. The 500-metre time trial with Miriame Welte. That scratch race was absolutely thrilling for the men, wasn't it? As the Russian Kovalev took that, the men's individual pursuit won by Australia, the men's Keirin, we've just seen taken by France, and now we are seeing the women's team pursuit squads onto the stage, ready to be presented with their medals.
Winners of the bronze medal representing Australia.
El ganador de la medalla de bronce representa a Australia.
Edmondson.
So Australia presented with the bronze medal, catching the Polish squad before the finish. So Annette Edmondson, Amy Cure, Melissa Hoskins and Isabella King take the bronze for Australia. Their medal tally in these championships increasing all the time.
winners of the silver medal, Canada.
Well, they really fought hard. They led all the way through the team pursuit. They came here to get a medal. They go home with one, but it was so close to being gold. Laura Brown, Jasmine Glazer, Alison Beveridge and Stephanie Roeder presented now with the silver medals. They are getting closer and closer to gold.
The UCI women's team pursuit gold medalists and winners of the UCI World Champions jerseys, Great Britain.
The world champions are Great Britain. Katie Archibald with the multicoloured hair, red, white and blue for the occasion. Being presented with the jerseys by the new president of the UCI, Brian Cookson. Eleanor Barker pulls on her second World Championship jersey as a team pursuiter. Laura Trott alongside Eleanor Barker, and finally Joanna Rousel. It's an incredible rise to world level for the Scottish rider Katie Archibald. There on the left-hand side, a fan of multicoloured hair, piercings and tattoos, but she was riding grass track racing just a couple of years ago. She has suddenly emerged at world level. She's a world record holder and now she's a world champion.
Las flores serán presentadas por el subdirector de Deportes Nacional, Juan Carlos Peña.
So we wait for the flowers to be presented and then the national anthem of Great Britain. Well, the emerging nation in team pursuit, without any shadow of a doubt, are the Canadian squad.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Great Britain.
Now the national anthem of Great Britain. The national anthem of Great Britain then, as we see them presented as world champions. Canada, the silver medalists. Australia take the bronze. Well, thank you very much to all of you for joining us for live coverage tonight, again from Cali. Day 2 of the World Championships. Katie Archibald, Eleanor Barker, Laura Trott, Jo Rousel, smiling for the cameras. Lots more racing to come over the next 3 days. And we'll take a look now at the medal table. Here we are. Australia now top the medal table after 9 out of the 19 medals to be decided. Germany in second, New Zealand in third place. So Australia really starting to motor. Great Britain down there in 5th place. As we look onto the second page, we have Canada there in 8th place, equal with the other nations who've taken a medal. Ireland there as well, with that medal from Martin Irvine earlier on today. And the other nations who've taken some medals include Poland, Switzerland, Hong Kong, China and the Netherlands. And so tomorrow we're going to be seeing 3 more medals presented. And this is how things are going to look. We're going to see finals coming up in the qualification in the morning. We'll have women's sprint and individual pursuit, and we'll get to start the men's omnium as well. But we'll be live again tomorrow evening with all the action, and we're going to bring you 3 medals being awarded. We start off there with the men's kilometre time trial. That is a final. We then see the women's individual pursuit final at around about 7:45 Cali time. And the men's points race is the other final we will see tomorrow night. Men's omnium really starting to get underway over the next couple of days. So it's been a great day of racing here on the track. Miriame Welte taking a bow after winning the 500-metre time trial. 2 wins in 2 days. Kovalev of Russia, he took his gold medal with that thrilling lap. Also joining him was the rider from Hong Kong, China, and Martin Irvine as well. All smiles from the Russian. The gold medal in the individual pursuit was a close run thing, wasn't it, at the finish? But Alexander Edmondson pulls on the 3rd gold medal of the night. In the men's Keirin, it was down to the Frenchman after some bumping and barging and a few crashes along the way. He stayed out of trouble and he took the rainbow bands home at the end of tonight's racing. And finally, it was a close run thing. Canada really, for the first time, made Great Britain look fallible in a team pursuit, but the strength of this squad shone through and they took the final gold medal of the night. So as we look across a clearing Cali velodrome, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's racing. We've seen 5 medals awarded. Tomorrow we'll see another 3. We've had lots of insights from the riders who've taken the medals along the way. Thank you very much to all of you for joining me. It's been my pleasure to bring you more action here from Cali. I'll look forward to joining you again for more racing tomorrow. From me, Anthony McCrossan, bye for now.